need a dog-friendly hotel, but that's not too hard to find. I'll just, by late afternoon, I'll probably have an idea of where I'm gonna be, and then I'll start looking at the map, and there's always something open, especially midweek.
And we
Dog-friendly
used
hotel,
to go up, but
fine.
we haven't driven very many times, but we'd be on the road and like look for like a Hilton or Hilton, whatever it be. And like I say, okay, if we have dinner now and just go for another 2 hours, then we'll have so much less to drive tomorrow, or just, like we knew found these little towns, off 95 or places that we liked and returned to. It was sort of an adventure, but
What's the hotel brand that starts with a Q?
There's La Quinta and there's,
Quinta, La Quinta.
yeah,
We liked those a lot for the dogs.
yeah, that's where I often end up, in La Quinta.
The especially on that northern route. We've got
Yeah.
like some very specific ones we stay at. I was appalled at the charges for a dog for other places. Like
Yes,
$75.
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I can get a room across the
Even La
street for
Quinta, I was
$75.
charging like 25 for the dog,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't like some of the ones that are free. I'd rather be a step up.
Yeah, for sure.
A bit safer. Yeah.
Do you have the app Bring Fido?
Yes, I do.
Me too. It's
hey,
very helpful.
we stayed at a hotel. We didn't realize it was a Garden Inn or one of the Hilton brands, and it had a whole dog park there. It was like a amusement park for dogs. Seriously, I haven't seen. I've seen things like that, but and that place was just packed. It was really fun. I mean, we didn't have a dog. We didn't realize that. We just took called a place that was.
You can go get your dog fixed there if you want a dog,
Right,
but don't like to travel with a dog.
I always thought that dogs should have, people should have, like not a rented dog, but just visiting dogs. Come after dinner so they can clean the floor, and then hang out with you, go outside, do something, and then go home.
Love it. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm sure people will wander in. Hi, Jackie Jack. Hey, Amy.
Good morning, ladies.
Nice to
Hey,
see you
Jackie.
this morning.
Hey,
Yeah,
Amy.
no Martin. Where's Martin this morning?
Hmm.
It's unusual. He's usually showing up. All right, so today I wanted to talk about some of the latest scams and threats. It's October, so Halloweeny, scary stuff. Why not? I try not to bring us down too much with all of that all of the time, but it's out there. What we do keeps us safe and protects us from that kind of stuff. But they're still out there, and they're obviously getting better and better at it. More clever. Hey, Linda, welcome. Hey, Carlene.
Hey, hi.
So has anybody, I want to start with quick question. Has anybody dealt with a fake scam this week?
No,
Any kind of excellent.
I don't know. I swipe them off so fast. I don't even know.
I'm the same, Joyce. I was going to say the
Yeah.
same words because anything that looks suspicious, it's gone. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's because we go to tech class.
I know,
Yep.
right? You guys are amazing. All right, so
Well,
let me
Well, I do have one
Gary.
question.
Yeah.
So on the screensaver, there came up this beautiful picture, and I took a picture of it because it was so beautiful. But somebody said it was probably IA, but I don't know. I don't think it was. It could be, but anyway, it was a beautiful picture. I appreciated the beauty anyway.
So it may
Wasn't
very
a-
well
wasn't a
have been.
scam. Yeah,
Um
didn't matter.
if you could share it with us, that'd be fun because I like testing my
Okay.
powers of determining.
Okay, I will.
Some of the screensavers that I've been seeing on our television,
Yeah.
look like AI, but on closer inspection, I think they're not. They may be enhanced photos. We have all kinds of features to improve upon photos or make them look more artsy or whatever, which isn't really AI. That AI is a whole different concept and process versus just doctoring up a photo. Slightly different. Good question though. Terry.
I went to a presentation this week from the League of Women Voters, and it was not necessarily scam. Well, it was more of misinterpretations of, and a lot of it was showing you an AI. With a few of us that were there knew from this class, but of all kinds of ads and posts and letters and things like that. And some of them, again, I know there's maybe 3 or 4 of us that come to the class, and all of us could see, or we'd seen things like that, but it was very they're listing. I'll see if I can send it out, the listing of what to look for, like a kind of thing to do with my words are losing me, like the difference between misinformation and disinformation kind of
Oh,
was.
where'd you find that?
This was the League of Women Voters had a
Oh, huh.
program.
Okay.
So they were showing things about the election, and I mean about in politics and other things that start off with, oh, we were here to help you to get insurance or something, whatever it might be. But
Yeah.
the
So
way
was that like a document that they handed you, or it was a
there was a document that showed the more like the 5 things they were talking about, but it was a video. In fact, I thought it was a little outdated because of a couple of the things they said about AI, but that could be a month ago that it was outdated. You know what I mean? Or not, a couple months ago that it was outdated from. But it really showed a lot of people there that were questioning it. I always thought that was.
Yeah, I'll look and see, and you see if you can find it too.
Yeah, I will. But it was the people there that very intelligent people coming to look for this thing. So many people were so surprised about things that, that are in
They
this
don't come to
world
this
and around.
class.
That was fascinating.
Thank you. Linda.
Getting
Oh.
a promotional, an ad that they want to give AI classes. So it's a course that you take and they teach you how to do it.
Miami-Dade,
I
right?
understand they're going to be starting to teach the children in school AI. I read that somewhere.
Huh.
Mhm.
Well, it's here to stay. There's no question about that.
Oh yeah, no, it's big money, so it's not going anywhere.
But I wonder if you come across that course.
I have not.
Interesting.
Well, I watched the news last night and they said in Miami-Dade College and Google the college was putting a class together about AI to teach the, young people about AI and job related how to do that and what to do with it. So that was just like a little blurb they were talking about. So
Interesting. Yeah, so we've talked about it. Okay. We've talked about it in several different ways in that AI is beneficial. It does lots and lots of good things. So let's just think about a minute. It's called artificial intelligence, right? And what it does is it combs through all of the data available wherever it can and brings it together. So when we do pre-AI, when we were doing a search on a topic, then we would look at multiple websites and we would find information on multiple websites. Go a couple decades back, more than a couple decades, when we were in college or in high school and we had to do a research paper and we had a specific topic and we would go to the library and we would get books on it and we would get microfiche and we would look at all of the possible resources for information and we would comb through all of this, and it was laborious and it was, it was very time consuming. Those grades we earned were well earned. Literally what AI does is that it takes all of the information, sifts and sorts through it faster than we can, and then comes out with an answer. So, on one hand, we see, because we are very aware of the tech world, we see the dangers that it holds, and undisputable that there are dangers in terms of misinformation. And on the other hand, there are great advances. What it's being used for in medicine is just phenomenal. And we've maybe watched a lot of sci-fi movies where robots take over the world. And so we have kind of that dystopian thing. Um, Back when the original Mad Max came out, I was convinced that by now our planet would look like that. It doesn't. So we do want to remember that while it's moving really, really fast. Think about your parents for a minute, okay? Mine were born in 1920 and 1921. And the advances in technology that happened from then until 2013, imagine. We'll be there. We have watched, I think incrementally from when we were born to now is actually less of a quantum leap than it was for them. They didn't have cars. They didn't have television sets. I mean, come on, television must have looked like, some kind of crazy magic too. So sometimes I think it's good that we put things in perspective. It can, like anything, be used for horrible, horrible purposes and for private gain and for, all the things that people do bad things for. And good people aren't doing bad things. You know what I mean? So we want to look at AI with some healthy skepticism, I think. But I think we also have to realize that it has made our lives easier in many ways. Back when it was first starting to be integrated into our phones, it's made me a lazier person because I can just go, hey, Google, navigate to, and, Google wakes up and it says, where do you want me to go? And it's done. And here we are. And I don't have to take out a map and unfold it anymore. Pretty nice, pretty nice. And there are ways that we don't actually see where AI has taken, because it's not front facing. Like when you look at your phone and you do any kind of search, oh, there's Carlene's picture. All right, I'm going to share this with the group and let everybody decide. All right, so here's a great example. Let me pull it up first.
Pretty lake, John.
There's a manatee out there in the water.
Oh,
You see its fin?
Mm-hmm.
Doing it? Yeah. It'll be a big flop in a minute. Yeah, there it goes. Up. Beautiful day here in Murray Nelson Park with
oh,
no
nice,
one here but me and Lily.
nice. All right, so you decide.
It's very pretty.
Yeah. I would say AI.
Yeah, the
I'd say
colors look,
the shadows seem wrong, like they're both going the same way. Well, maybe not.
the colors look too beautiful.
But you can take a picture that you've done and change the color.
Right. Right. So
It was enhanced.
my thought is
pushed it.
this right here. This white
Yeah.
thing here.
Okay, I think that was a reflection of the way, trying to take a picture of the TV and it was,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That was your reflection.
that wasn't in all the pictures.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
But, to me, it's like, is that a man-made canal, but it's not our river or whatever it is? It's so perfect, as far as
Mhm.
straight, the sides. But there were cars going by and, it's a video. I mean, it's a video actually, because
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there are cars. I didn't notice in the beginning, but there are cars moving and people walking. So I don't know. But it was just beautiful.
Well, and here's so looking at the detail in the foreground here, the little sticks that are coming up.
Mhm.
I almost want to say that AI would have made it cleaner. You know,
Right.
rivers and water's edges are messy. They're just messy, and this is got that kind of mess that one would expect to see in an actual canal.
It also seems to end straight, like the reflections end like a straight line at the bottom in the
Well,
water.
and there's a bridge. You can't really see it in this picture, but on my TV it was quite big. And this person or whatever is taken from a bridge. So there's a
Oh,
bridge here, and there's a bridge at the other end, and you
gotcha.
could see cars going over it. I could, but you can't do that. See that? But
Oh.
I'm just saying, it was a beautiful picture, no matter if it's AI or not.
Yeah, yeah. And and that's a really good example. I mean, it's pretty good at AI if it is AI, looking at the sharpness. Honestly, it's this part right here
Right,
down in the foreground that tells me that it's not AI.
right.
Um, let's just for fun, let me I'm gonna pull, I don't know if you can see my screen right now. Can you see my screen?
No.
All right.
No.
I'm gonna stop the share, go out and come back in. We're gonna mess with a picture for a minute. Let's see if I can find a landscape, which would be easier to deal with. Here we go. All right, so let me come back to you, share this screen. Okay, so here's my landscape. This is
Very
the
pretty.
little Tennessee River where I live. It's really beautiful. So I'm gonna go to edit. And let's see what my options are. Make that small. Okay, so I can do an AI edit for the background.
Hmm.
We found the background of your original image and selected it for you. Background brush tool. Brush size, brush softness. I don't know what it's gonna let me do. I'm gonna move this brush over here. This is where I actually need the AI class. I don't see what it's letting me do. All right, let's go to some of see now this one's not, oh, here we go. Color, saturation, sharpness. So these are very, very basic ones. You know, I can make it a black and white photo, right? I can make it very, very green. That's not AI. That's just me changing the color density. I can make it very cool with the blues. I can make it really hot looking with adding the yellows, going back to normal. Tints, blues, not so much. Sharpness, making it very blurry or very sharp. I don't think any of those honestly fixed it. So let's see, what's vignette? This is, gave it some shadow edges, shadows, made it more contrasty. What else
It's
can
more
we?
like Photoshop, it seems, than
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So when you play with a photo, you can change, you know, all kinds of things about it and make it look like AI, you know? When we were talking about, oh, the colors in Carlene's photo were, you know, too vivid. Um, you know, okay, well, here we are, vivid colors. That wasn't AI. So, and I've entirely, changed the photo. When I do something like this, I can save it exactly as it is, or I can save it as a copy, or I can cancel that and say, I liked my original. And I just go back to, yeah, I liked my original. That was fine the way it was. So Carlene's not necessarily AI. May have just been photoshopping, right? Just playing with the colors and enhancing, bringing in some of those reds and things. Anyway, I am going to go to our first problem child, which is Roku. How many people have Roku?
I do.
Okay.
No,
All
me
right.
too.
So in the state of Florida is actually suing Roku because they have been accused of selling children's data to advertisers and brokers. So the state of Florida says that Roku is collecting viewing habits, voice recordings, and geolocation from kids without approval from parents. 145 million people across the US doesn't mean that they're not doing it anywhere else. It just means that Florida is actually suing Roku for collecting that data, then made it available to advertisers, sold it to data brokers. And data brokers, remember, those are the folks whose gather our information, not specifically for a malicious purpose from their end, but will sell our data for whatever. So, when we're concerned about our privacy and how people know stuff about us, people meaning corporations, bad actors, how do they know? Because if it wasn't a hack, they could have also gotten that information semi-legitimately by getting it from a data broker. There are companies that's big money, is your information. And so just like if you remember going to True People Search, and we'll just pop in there. We'll look me up. And I encourage you to look yourself up.
It's fake news. Look me up. It's all fake. It's conspiracy. Look at
You
the
wish.
manatees. The manatees.
Oh,
They're
man.
really breaking through now. There's two of them. Mama, pup.
You're killing us, John.
Awesome. Awesome.
Most of us are in cold weather.
All right.
Oh, I'm
So,
sorry.
No, I
True
like
people-
it.
Well, it's winter here now. Getting there.
True
Thank you.
People Search.
Mhm.
Thank
64
God.
years old, born in December 1960, lives at Stillhouse Road. That's not a current number, but that is. Okay, so this background report, you can see it's a sponsored link, which means you'd have to pay for it. But you can continue going on and you can see other public record. So I'm not actually Elizabeth based, but my mother
on
is
People.
Elizabeth Kelly.
Your
Current
people
address.
search.
There's my house. This is True People Search.
Thank you.
Here are phone numbers. Phone numbers we used to have. Current phone numbers. Full background check. Again, that's a sponsored link, so don't bother with that because that costs. But no, I've never had an AOL account, and I've never had this. So that's interesting. They've messed up my email addresses. Kind of funny considering it's all out there. And then here's the places that I've lived. I've never lived in West Virginia. But I have lived on
West
these
Virginia.
other ones in the Keys.
Take me home, country road.
What?
It's Take me home, country road. I was
Oh.
raised in West Virginia.
Criminal records.
Mindset.
That's a sponsored link. But then coming down here, there's some
Maureen.
relatives. There's some actual relatives. They're not all correct.
You possibly have a 24-year-old spouse?
Yeah, no. No, I possibly don't.
Is it showing skeletons in the closet?
Not that I'm aware of. And then these, I have no idea who these people are. So this is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I, well, there's Wilma. You remember Wilma? I don't know who the other ones are, though.
Oh, it was Wilma. That wasn't her last name.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Business Connections, Paddle the Florida Keys. Yep.
Mm.
Great Heart Helping Hands. Yep. And then it just kind of sums it all up down on the bottom. Associated with Kareem Base, who's listed as a spouse in public records. Kind of creepy there. I
There
don't know.
was
about that.
another Betsy Bass who was 29 years old.
Another Betsy Base. Ah, okay.
29, yeah.
That's pretty interesting because our
Yeah.
name is really unique. We pretty much know
Yeah, 24.
all of the Betsy Bastes because we know all of the base. So let's look at the other Betsy Baste. It's a one branch family tree.
Yeah, but she's not listed with Kareem.
Yeah, interesting.
Are you hooked up to Kareem Bay, Stephen, up at the top?
What's up?
They've got you connected to Kareem Bay, Stephen, up at the top where it's got
Yes.
your age, where it's you.
Yes. Yeah. But, that's not accurate. But here's this other person, all pretty interesting because I don't know any of these bastes,
And Kareem is not there.
and Kareem is not there. Now, I know Angela, but she's not 32. So not
You're-
always 100%
Well, they're
accurate.
under 64. Isn't that you and right smack in the middle?
Yep. Yep. And then down here, possible associates, there's my mom and my dad, so
We'll still need you and leave you. It won't leave you.
so anyway, there's a lot out there. So when we talk about Roku selling data, that's an example. Okay. How did all of that information get on that page? Because there are companies that's what they do. They collect data, they sort data, and they write programs that just sort through all of it. It's not all 100% true, but oftentimes, frighteningly, a lot of it's true. The fact that you can see where I live and my address. So check yourself out on True People Search. Okay. Terry.
One of the things that at this presentation the other night too was showing us some posts, ads, whatever it is, a picture of something, and she showed us about 4 different ones, and she said, "Does anybody think this is real?" And nobody thought it was real, like for 3 different ones, and they all were real. It was just idea of elimination as opposed to it was some statistics, but it was statistics from like summer of 2021 in 1 month in Minnesota that had these rates of job, whatever it was, a listing. So it was elimination. They just put some figures there and put it to something happening today. But they said that the AI had, it was elimination of the facts underneath it. It has like statistics from Cincinnati but it was supposed to be today, and it was from another date, but it was written so clearly on. It was one of those things that they said that difference in one of the things they do a lot in AI for more than just a picture and all. Have some facts in there, but
Yeah.
not for that time and place. But
All right, we're gonna move to sharenting. Sharenting. I hope I'm saying it right. Does anybody know what sharenting is?
Co-parenting?
Good guess. Good guess. You're on the right track. So, oversharing about your grandkids or kids online. Um, they call it sharenting, and I've not, I guess it's sharing the parenting. I don't know. But posting videos, stories, photos on social media. Um, before you post, consider that this information can be used by bad actors. Just like we saw that Roku was collecting data on kids, um, all kinds of things can go wrong. You know, posting fun pictures and the risks in terms of safety and well-being. They could use the personal details to track your kid's location, commit identity theft, or attempt to hack into accounts. Also cyberbullying and harassment. So we always want to be super careful. I really appreciate when people put a smiley face over their kid's head, so that the child cannot be seen. Um, don't share details such as name, age, school, teacher, grade level with photos. Um, choose generic backgrounds. Don't use identifiable location markers. Review your social media privacy settings to make sure that you know who can actually look at your posts. In terms of videos, again, any mention of names and things like that, we really want to be careful about. Now, this says avoid trendy fixes. A trend began among celebrities covering their faces with emojis while posting photos, but it doesn't provide total protection if you're doing multiple images over time. Logos on clothing, exterior home details, school locations, things like that. But honestly, I think that it's probably better than face. Um, so, you know, I mean, I'm not sure why they think that that is trendy when you're actually covering your kid's face. But so limit the sharing. Trusted platforms such as family sharing only on WhatsApp. Um, avoid public forums like Instagram Reels and things like that. Ask if you'd want a similar event shared about yourself. Before you publish, think about how the child might think about it later in life. Um, so pretty important, you know, to protect kids from, you know, any kind of public scrutiny. Um, real important. And we, you know, there are tons of grandkids in social media. Maybe I I think that social media has real benefits for sharing among close privacy groups. So if you have if you have Facebook and you have an open Facebook page, like they said, check your privacy settings. Maybe don't allow things to be public, make them private just to friends. And then occasionally maybe go through your friends, you know, and make sure that those friends, because I know I've got some folks who I go, who is that? I don't know anymore. But they were a friend from a long time ago, or they were an acquaintance of an acquaintance. Sometimes you might want to clean those up. If you don't actually genuinely know the person, if you bumped into them in the grocery store, do you know them? If not, maybe you should take them off of your Facebook feed. Tighten up your privacy. And when I say Facebook, I mean Instagram or any of the social media feeds. And just kind of be careful and think about who's seeing this, and you have the power to change who's actually seeing it. You can also do a separate page just for family. You know, if you've got young grandkids and they live on the other side of the country and you don't get to see them very much, um, uh, make a Facebook page just for your family, you know, and just invite your family and then do all kinds of pictures you want. Now, that doesn't mean that the social media company doesn't have access to them, because they do. They they have access to them. And so just like all of this AI that we were talking about, this is computer learning. So computers learned by scrubbing through absolutely everything that was out there. And all of the social media companies absolutely were scrubbed for images and data and all of that. So That's still going to be available. Now, WhatsApp, like that article just said, WhatsApp more secure. So have a community group for your family on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is owned by Meta, which is Facebook, so which is also Instagram. So that I don't believe is necessarily going to protect you, simply because I don't really trust Meta to have your best interests at heart. It's a tool we use, and we use it cautiously, right? Especially when it comes to kids and grandkids. Look at that. Renee and Andy showed up. Morning, kids.
Happy
Think they're there.
birthday. Isn't it
Happy
your birthday,
birthday.
Renee?
Happy
Renee.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
She's sort of there. Maybe she'll come on. All right. So, anybody have any thoughts, comments about that? About sharing with your kids information? Do people do that?
You know, my daughter-in-law, you know, she is on Facebook and she puts the kids on there and I can see it, but I don't, you know, I don't know if it's, I just kind of, you know, I'm grateful she does.
Mhm.
And I can take those pictures. I copy the pictures all the time.
Yeah,
And so, but if I can do it, anybody can do it. So
exactly. Exactly. And that's, and maybe how old are they?
they're all teenagers now. So yeah,
Which makes it seem safer.
but it's no, I
It's
know. It's
not.
not.
It's not. It's
No, but
not.
it's something that she started a long time ago just to share because her family lives in another country. So, you know, that was the way to do it,
Yeah.
you know, 17 years ago.
Yeah. Is that a conversation that she'd be open to having, switching to doing it a different way?
Probably. And she's very techie. So she probably already has a lot of safeguards that I'm not aware of. You know what I
Good.
mean? Knowing
Yeah.
her, she is very techie and very much aware of what to do. So I'm sure she has those safeguards. I'm allowed in. I'm trusted. So that's good. But I'm sure she has safeguards for all that.
Good,
But
good. And it wouldn't hurt to ask, hey, we were talking about this in tech class and how,
yeah.
people are vulnerable for data sharing these days, Are your pictures protected? Is it privacy? It wouldn't hurt.
I
Wouldn't hurt
will.
to protect them. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the next one, which is not that one. This one is again talking about social media, and this is, let me move this bump out of the way. There we go. This one is about a Facebook scam for seniors. So go from one end of the spectrum to the other. InfoStealer and Banking Trojan rolled into one is making Facebook groups aimed at active seniors, using social engineering to lure them to fake groups to promote travel and community activities, trips, dance classes, community gatherings. Once they've joined, they were invited to download an app to register for the activities. Researchers found that numerous Facebook groups created under this pretense stocked with AI generated content to appear authentic. So let's look and see if this is one of them. Hard to know. Although, I gotta say, these might be two tiny ladies. Am I sharing? Can you see? Yeah, you can see.
Yes.
They might be tiny, but this guy has a super long arm for somebody who is
Oh, yeah.
not, I mean, he's not that tall of a guy. He's a little bit taller than her and almost her height because it looks like he's a little bit more in the foreground, but that's a pretty long arm to reach over two women's bodies and touch her shoulder. Just thinking. So this
Yeah.
might be AI. It's pretty good, but any other indicators that you all see?
They have great skin and no wrinkles.
And they're supposed to be seniors, huh?
Yeah,
You're right. You're right. Great skin.
no freckles, no sunspots.
Nope. Yup. There you go. You win. All right. So going down. So one of the observers hosting was download. So download seniorgroupapps.com. Says the cyber criminals sent follow-up messages through Messenger and WhatsApp. So how fun is this? What can they do? Spyware and banking Trojans designed to drain bank accounts.
Ooh,
Once installed, the Android malware can record audio and video and access files and photos, display overlays that mimic other apps to steal passwords and send them to the attackers, let attackers remotely control the infected devices, including locking or unlocking the screen. Well, that's so not good. The code was likely developed in China, but later leaked, has reached victims worldwide. Interesting, it doesn't say the US, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, Canada, South Africa, and the UK, but not us. That's interesting. So how to stay safe. Check a group's history. Avoid any that look freshly set up. It's not possible to check the age of a group before you join, but once you're a member, look at the date of historical posts or pin posts. So if you see something and you want to join it, and I might not necessarily be talking to you all. I might be talking to you to talk to your friend who's not in this group who doesn't know this kind of stuff and might think, oh, this looks like fun. There's a knitting group, or there's a snorkeling group, or, a flower arranging group, an orchid group, whatever. There are lots and lots of groups on Facebook that are perfectly legitimate. It says don't click on links or install apps provided by such groups or provide private messages from people you don't know. Use up-to-date real-time anti-malware protection of whatever kind, especially on your mobile devices. Be wary of groups offering too good to be true promises. Check groups' description and rules for professionalism or red flags. It's worth noting that many of the groups also included a button to download an iOS application. They are just placeholders at the time, so it has not affected Apple users. It's just affected Android users. And here's some of the group names: Senior Group, Lively Years, Active Senior, Dance Wave. Their package names. That would be the code. So let's stop for a minute. With any Facebook group, here's what you should do. You should just join the Joy Facebook group by Joyce. And there has been an email that got sent to you that was for a survey for Joy. Please complete it. The survey is about when they're going to have classes during the holidays in November and December. So go ahead and complete that. Give them your information. Let Joy know. And you should have gotten that as an email. So make sure you do that.
Came on Tuesday as a separate email, and then it is on our webpage, and it was also on the newsletter. So it takes just a minute and let us know if we should have classes, because
Yeah, because
wanna
we're
know your
holidays
opinion.
fall
If there's a
this
lot of
year.
us, then we'll have them. And
Yeah. But anyway, if you go to the Joy Facebook page, which we'll just go ahead and do right now, might as well. And you're going to see, I'm just pulling it up here. When you're on that Facebook page, you absolutely, Just Older Youth, aka the Joy Center, you want to like and follow it if you're on Facebook, because anything that's here is going to be real. Oh my goodness. That's cool.
Yeah, we read a book club book about
Great.
in the comment below.
Yeah.
One of our favorites.
Yeah, that was a great book. Um, anyway, so, you know,
Oh,
you're
there's
going
a
to
good
get
one for today. There's a good one for tech class.
I was barking at the mailman. That's very cute. Um, so anyway, you're also going to get what's happening with classes here, um, you know, with Mahjong, and you're going to get the schedule. When you go here, you get the schedule. If you can't find the email for where the schedule is, you click on the link. It's going to take you right to the schedule. And there's the survey as well, which is a live link, so you can go right to there. And there's the holiday schedule for the Joy Center. Very simple questions. If we were open, would you come on these days? And that's it. Very, very simple and easy. Anyway, so if you are going to the Joy Center, come back on their Facebook page, also their Instagram page, me teaching my friend to crochet. So crocheting classes. So everything's going to be about classes. So lots of active senior activities. Oh, it was Abby's birthday. October 19th. I missed it. Anyway, lots and lots of interesting stuff here on this Facebook page. So I would say make sure that you join that group rather than some random group.
It's fun. We have a lot of fun over there, and sometimes I'll send somebody something that I said, you should have seen this on Facebook. It was really, like even the picture of the dogs on the screen is like, it just gives you a little laugh or tells you something important.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next latest frightening thing for spooky Halloween. I'm always pushing to use password managers, right? And so here's a fun little article. So fishers fishers are people who are kind of dangling bait, hoping people will go for it, and then they get to capture their information. Some of it for, really bad things, some of it for moderately bad things like just data collection. But this one was targeting 1Password users with a convincing fake breach. So, not good. Stealing someone's 1Password login would be like hitting the jackpot because, if you have a password manager through 1Password, 1Pass, LastPass, any of those companies that are just doing password protection and password management, then you only have to know 1Password, right? And that's the one to get into your vault. What happened was it said 1Password watchtower890.com. See, I'm already suspicious. What's this? Right? I mean, if a company is going to have an email address that is about their company, it's going to have their company name in it somewhere. They're not going to have some ridiculous other name here. That doesn't make any sense. So if I get an email that says, Watchtower alert, password issue detected, and I use 1Pass, I still I'm going to question that. And then it says your account has been compromised. We detected your password found in a data breach. Take action immediately. Change your password. Enable two-factor authentication. Review your account. All of those are great ideas. Clicking this button is not a great idea, right? Because while this is very sound information, if you find that you've been involved in a data breach, first thing you do is you change your password in whatever data breach it was, whether it was, Home Depot account or your bank account or, whatever. First thing you do is you change your password and you make it complicated. Enabling two-factor authentication, where you're going to put in a passcode and then you're going to get a notification on your phone or your email, whether it's text or through email, and then they're going to send you generally 6 numbers, and you put those 6 numbers in. That's two-factor authentication. Kind of a pain in the neck, takes about like, I don't know, less than 10 seconds more. So you've got 10 seconds to protect everything you own. And review your account activity. Always good, but hitting that button, never good. It says if you need help securing your account, contact us. And then it goes on to say exactly, it just kind of blew that up so you could see it a little bit better. The email looks convincing, red flags. And there you go, sender's address. Like I said, what the heck is that? Because 1Password uses this, something at 1password.com. That's what I would expect a company to use, their name in their email address. And then it says, if you hover over the Secure Now button, this is what it comes up to. So this doesn't seem like it's going to send me somewhere good, because what's all of that? Mandrillapp.com. Concerned about that. Now, I don't think it will show up if I just hover, because this is a picture of the email that came. So, but typically speaking, you could hover over this and it would show where you're actually going with that. So that's where they pulled that up, this little address here. And it says the Watchtower feature does send alerts about compromised passwords. It tells you specifically, not doing a generic message. It's going to say which breach you were involved in. And then onepass-word.com is a feeble attempt to look legitimate. Any kind of, contact us link. But it supports, so they use this to look legitimate, but it went through the Mandrill app. And that was, what I pointed out was like, what's that? That's where it first goes to. And then this is where it goes underneath all of that. So lots and lots of little red flags. And then with this particular instance, website was blocked because this company, Malwarebytes, found it, saw it, thought it was a bad idea, and stopped it. So that's the bonus of having something that you're going to use to protect yourself. All right. Shortly after emails, the domain was already classified as phishing. So then by October 3rd, if you click the button, you would end up viewing this, saying that it didn't work, but early birds, people who clicked before that, would have seen this form. So before it got detected and stopped, you would have gotten this, which is 1Password support. So please verify your account now. And you're going to put your email, and then you're going to put your secret key, and then you're going to put your master password, and then you're going to secure your account through a fake place. So they literally set it up so that it looks exactly like it should. And they're then going to gather your information to get into all of your passwords. And they would have sent all of their credentials right to the phishing crew. So again, always don't click on links or buttons in unsolicited mail. Don't ever provide your credentials. And if you're concerned, you go to the website. We know this. We know that we're going to go right to the website first and not click buttons that come in emails, right? I mean, it's sad that is true. But there's another one that is just as much fun, and it is the let me pull it up. This one, the CAPTCHA. So you know how we often have to jump through the hoop of dealing with the CAPTCHA to show we're not a robot. And so here's a new one. It hides behind the I'm not a robot CAPTCHA. And so you land on a site, CAPTCHA pops up. Instead of clicking the box, it tells you to copy and paste a command into your computer. What? No identify the sidewalk? No identify the buses? This is complete these verification steps. Press and hold the Windows key plus R In the verification window, press Control V, press Enter on your keyboard to finish. You will observe and agree, I am not a robot. Perform these steps to finish verification. Do not do it. That infects your computer with malware. How to protect yourself. Real CAPTCHAs never ask you to run any commands, press Windows, Control, or Alt keys, or download anything. If a site makes you do more than click a box or pick a picture, close it immediately. If it feels complicated, it's probably a con. And here's something that I didn't know. CAPTCHA is a acronym, Completely Automated Public Turing Test to Tell Computers and Humans Apart. Woo! Glad I don't have to remember that. So, something that we trust that, because we see it so often. The little box shows up and it says, and I've had to do it where you're going through a couple of hoops. First time you get, identify the motorcycles, and then I think, did I miss one? Because now I got to do another one. Don't think I did. I think that it's basically a matter of extra security by making you do it one more time. But I've never seen the ones where it asks you to download or do anything crazy like that. So that should automatically send off red flags. If you happen to see one of those, screenshot it. I would love to see it. Good information. Anybody ever seen one? Good. It must be fairly new. So definitely problematic. That one was shared with us by Linnell. She shared that one with me. All right, we have a couple of updates we want to make sure that we have done. If you are using Chrome, make sure that you update it. Even if you have automatic updates, I find those to not always work. I don't know why. I have no explanation for it, but oftentimes automatic updates doesn't give me the most recent that I need, and maybe that the update came and I wasn't in a Wi-Fi zone. I don't have great connectivity here, so that might be my problem. But just make sure you do it. We always, always, always want to update all of our stuff. And interestingly enough, Apple, same deal. Update your Apple devices to fix dozens of vulnerabilities. So the good news is, and I'm just going to send this to you so that you have the link for it on how to update all of these things, like your Apple TV, your Apple Watch, your Mac OS on any version. So if you haven't updated those, I think that maybe we tend not to think about our iPads or our watches or our TVs. But those are important things because they are carrying our data in this big open ocean of data in the world anyway. So make sure that you always do your updates. When's the last time somebody updated their Apple Watch? Linda did? Okay, good. Jackie, no.
Well, I was just sitting here thinking, doesn't it automatically do it, or do I have to? I guess I thought it was automatic that my
It doesn't
watch.
hurt to check.
I know. I have not physically hit, update anything. So
And
on my watch.
sometimes, I don't know for each individual's device. What's a good idea to do is to check and see what your setting is, because the
Right.
default setting, hopefully, on an Apple Watch would be automatic updates.
Right. I'm gonna
But
check it. I never thought about it, so I'm gonna
if
check.
we hadn't thought about it, we don't know. And that's exactly it, Kathy, is that if we can't fix it and make sure it's right if we don't know where we stand with it to begin with. So, good thing to do. I know my car just said there's a software update, and it's been trying to get me to do it all week. And I'm like, driving, would you like to update now? No, I'm driving. I can't update it while I'm driving. So then I got home, got in my Wi-Fi zone in my carport here, and then said yes, because you have to leave the car running when you do your update, but check your cars too. We all have software now. So go to your screen, check your settings, look for updates.
Okay.
And like I said, for 3 days, it wanted me to update. So it was automatic insofar as it wanted to do it, but it has to be in park and it has to be on to actually do that. So it required me to do something. It kept pushing, going, update, update, update. And I'm like, I'm driving. I'm not pulling over to update now. And I wanted to be in a good Wi-Fi zone so that I could do that and have a complete update. So make sure you check your cars as well. All right. We covered a lot. It wasn't too scary, right? I mean, y'all are too smart for any of this anyway, so not very worried about you all, but do share this information with your family and friends. Help protect them. Because
Another good class. Thank you.
thanks. What do you want to talk about next week?
Oh, boy. We'll email you.
I got to tell Maria something now. I'm going camping now.
Oh, fun.
My
And I'll
gosh.
be
Yay.
back till Sunday, so.
Well, Betsy,
Yeah.
Betsy, I want to share with you my technical challenge last night. So I'm
Okay.
teaching my line dance in Miami, and I get there and I left my phone, my iPad. That's my music. That's my class at home. So, okay, I'm going in. All right, I'm going to have to borrow a phone. At least I have my dongle. You know what that is, right?
Okay.
What a word is. That's a funny word. But
Funny one.
anyway, so I started with Patty gave me her iPhone, but it was the wrong connection. And I'd already YouTubed all the music, but okay, I couldn't do that one. So then I went to look for a Bluetooth and the dance classes were already using it. So then I found somebody with an Android so I could have the connection. So anyway, problem was solved because my technological savvy. I did have
Wow.
my dongle. Anyway, but I'm going to, I have an extra device. I'm going to have to just leave my extra device in my car or in my bag, my dance bag. So anyway,
What's a dongle?
it's a connector so it connects a speaker system to your phone that doesn't have a jack, a jack. When you know what a jack is?
I hope so.
Yeah, I know.
Betsy, you want to explain it?
Yeah, I can't. I was hoping I had one in my drawer here. I don't.
I'll
Oftentimes
Google it.
people will have a dongle for a mouse, a wireless mouse. So your mouse has to talk to your computer without a wire. You have this little tiny USB piece that plugs into one of the ports on the side of your computer, and that makes your computer talk to your mouse without a wire.
Okay. Thank you.
Wireless keyboards, same thing. Had a little dongle you had to stick in one of the ports. And yes,
Okay,
it's a
thank you.
hilarious name.
Thank you.
It sounds dirty, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It's kind of naughty.
Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you.